Welcome to Steps Forward with Ricki. I know, it's missing the intro. If you're new here, you don't know that, but there's a cute little intro that I usually put into the thing. Well, my producer used to put it in, but we're not working together anymore, so I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, okay? So just be patient with me. Thank you, I really appreciate that. But welcome to the podcast. This is a weekly walking podcast to help you take steps forward in your life and your day. It's almost as good as the intro, but not quite. And it's a walking podcast, meaning like you got to get up and walk. Like that is dead serious. And I'm Ricki, for those that don't know me. And welcome. And happy Monday, or whatever day it is that you're listening to this. I don't really feel like podcasting right now. I will be very honest with you. Not because I don't love it, but because I saved it to the last minute. And I've been so connected on my phone with all this shit going on in TikTok and just like all the DMs and so many things. And so many things have happened over the last few days. Life is so funny. Let me tell you something about life, okay? And you know, people always say that right before you have like a big moment or you have like a big breakthrough, things are usually like a little uncomfortable. I don't know if you remember, if you go back a couple episodes, but I was having kind of a rough month of just feeling kind of bored and like things weren't really moving, but they were moving, and that I wanted to expand. And, you know, I've been trying to figure out like what's my next offer, what's my next thing, along with walking away from weed, of course. But I just felt stuck, honestly. And I don't know if you can relate to that. You just feel stuck and you're like, things were moving and now they're not moving, and are they going to move again? And then I put this fucking video on TikTok and it's literally almost at 2 million views. I cannot. And if you're listening to this for the first time and you are from TikTok, like, hi, thank you, welcome, I love you. But it's so funny. And I've been waking up to all these DMs, and like, it just feels like the universe, in some ways you have to sit, right? You have to sit with the discomfort. You have to sit with the boredom. You have to sit with the, should I do this or should I do that? Until there's something to respond to. Does that make sense? Like I didn't have anything to respond to for a reason. And because it wasn't the right time, or maybe I needed to just be bored or just go back and forth with myself, right? Like sometimes we have to be there to get where we're trying to go. And sometimes when we don't have anything to respond to, meaning if you don't know the answer to something and you can't figure it out, sometimes it's just not the right time to figure it out. Does that make sense? Like I was trying to figure out the next thing I was going to do, this or that, all the things, right? And it's like, if you feel resistant towards that, if you feel like you're not ready to make a decision or you don't really know what to do, then maybe it's just not the right time to make a decision. And I actually think that was something that I learned. I was just like, I don't feel passionate about creating something else yet, or what am I going to do yet? And, you know, I know that I will, but right now it feels like I have to still I want to sort of build the foundation of what I've already been doing, and that feels good to me. And the universe just sort of solidifies it, right? It's like, okay, well, here, you make a video and it's going to get viral, and like, you know, you'll have a bunch of shit to respond to. And then when something like that happens, I don't know if you're a business owner or not, but when something like that happens and people are reaching out to you, like hundreds of people, you realize you don't have certain systems in place in your business. And oh, what if you start there? And so for me, you may or may not know this about me, but like, I love business. I spend a lot of hours of my day invested in programs and always educating myself and always learning more about how to be a better entrepreneur, a better business owner. I love business. Like, I know one day I'll be teaching other people how to build a business, because like, it's just so fun to me. I love to be creative, and I'm a visionary. And so really what I think happened here was like, and I used to do this a lot, maybe you can relate, like I just was sort of jumping the gun of like, I want to do this and this and this, and those are all really great, but do you have a foundation? And now that I'm saying it out loud, this is a great perspective shift for you too. If you're listening to this right now and you're like thinking about doing something in your life or making a change or walking away from weed, and you're like, I want to do this, this, and this, or I want to be here, I'm going to walk away tomorrow, or whatever it is for you, but you don't have the systems in place or the foundation to get you through that, like, you're going to go back, or you're going to like stall, right? You're going to become paralyzed by your own fear. And that actually makes a lot of sense now that I'm saying it out loud. It is true. Like, what are you going to do when you have a craving? Like, what are you going to do when you fall off track? If you don't have systems in place, if you don't know what comes next, right? So I think that's actually pretty interesting because I do think that business and life, they're all this, it's the same thing. Like your relationship with marijuana, your relationship with money, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with people, your relationship with your job, like it's all fucking the same. It's all connected. It really is. It really, really, really is. And the more that I grow as a human and as a business owner, the more I can see that. I'll tell you, when I first started my program, Walking Away from Weed, it was like in the end of February. I remember I had 6 people in my first group. I was very like I always knew that I was really good at it, like helping people, but I didn't know my worth. And it was just starting off. And I remember like how scared I was to like charge people a certain amount of money. And I was charging like $186, which is fine. And it was such a reflection to me of like where I was with my relationship with money, my relationship with myself, with what I believe that I'm worth, or believe that I'm worth paying, valuable. And I do think as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to, you do have to like grow, and as you grow, your prices raise, right? You can't just start off with a certain price. No one knows you, and you have to expand as a person, right? I cannot even tell you how much I've expanded as a person, or as a business owner, as a speaker, as a mentor, since that very first program. And how big of a mirror it's been for me at my relationship with myself and my worth and my money, and money in general. Do you have a good relationship with money? Have you ever asked yourself that? Because a lot of people that reach out to me that think that like tell me that they can't afford the program, which is totally fine. No, it's not a big deal. But I really do believe it's because either like they don't want to invest it, or they believe like the money won't come back, meaning like they won't make this money back, which is not true. Money always comes back. It's literally like energy. My whole point is that, I raised my prices to my program, and I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And with every time that you do something to expand, they say like new level, new devil. I don't like who the fuck came up with that shit, but it is true though. Like when you raise your price, or you create something new, or you walk away from something, or you just do something that's a little out of your comfort zone, it is a new thing that comes up for you. And for me, it's always been like the money stuff, like raising my prices and, worried no one's going to sign up. And, I got to tell you, for the first time since all the work that I've done on myself with this money stuff and the value that I feel I bring and that I offer and the transformations I've provided, like I feel really good about where I'm at. And I know that, and it's taken me a long time to get here. I mean, it's taken me a long time to feel really comfortable raising my prices to where they're at now. And to be quite honest with you, like I'm going to continue raising them. Not because I don't want people to do my stuff. I'm going to be having offers, all different kinds of offers. Like I'm working on it right now that people will be able to plug into. If they can't do the Walking Away from Weed program, like of course, like I want to help everybody. Like I really like genuinely care. But I also know that there is a space to grow and to expand, and I have to grow and expand. And you do grow and expand. The work that you do doesn't unfold all at once, but eventually it does. And I'm telling you, my program is so transformational. I can't keep it where it's at. Just like you can't stay where you're at. This is the first time that I have felt very, very, very certain of what I'm charging. And I actually think it's less than what it should be. And I don't feel bad saying that either. Like that's kind of crazy too. And I'm not saying it to like be an asshole. I'm just saying like it's fucking priceless. It's priceless to go through a program for a very short amount of time and to come out of it sober. Are you kidding me? That's so priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. You can't put a price tag on that kind of transformation. You really cannot. To watch people in my program go from smoking 1,000,000 times a day like I used to do, 100 days sober, 60 days, 50 days, 40 days, 30 days, to falling off track for 2 days but getting themselves back on because they have the tools. I mean, that is priceless. And I think it finally has clicked for me. And that's really a beautiful thing. And it should be a reminder to you that just because, you're working on something, that it's not always going to click right away. But the more time that you do it, right? Like the more the more rounds I've run of my walking away from weed program, the more I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Like, because what you don't see is how much I teach myself behind the scenes, how much I make the program better, what I have to do to make sure that you get more out of it. So people think that they're just paying for a service or a program or 3 days. You're not. You don't realize that when you buy something, you're really also purchasing the experience of somebody, the work they put into the program, the work they put into themselves to keep making it better. And so it's just a good lesson of like, we don't expand all at once. Even if we know we're worth more, even if we know that we want to walk away from weed and we know that our potential is standing right there, but we are minutes from it or steps from it, sometimes it doesn't happen right away, right? But you got to keep going. You got to keep learning. You got to keep trying. It will click. It will. And sometimes when it's really dark, that's kind of when it all comes together. Maybe not right away, but then you have a breakthrough or breakdown. It's not funny. I don't know why it's funny. I got to get some stuff together for this podcast. I'm a little stressed about that. And I have some things I need to put into place, but that doesn't stop me from still believing that I'm valuable enough and what I offer changes people's lives. And you don't have to have it all figured out to know that or to feel that. And I've never been more confident in my life that I've really created something that is really, truly transformational. And one day, there's going to be so many people that join this at once. And it's going to be more than weed, because it already is. We all know that. And I don't know. I've just been thinking about that lately, of just like, you work on yourself and you expand, but you don't expand all at once. And then you take a step backwards and then you're like, what the fuck? Nothing's working. And then boom, something works. That's why this is a long-term change. That's why being an entrepreneur is fucking hard, because if you think it happens at once, it doesn't. It actually happens. You become you in those moments of uncertainty. Because then you got to figure shit out. And then if you can't figure it out, can you sit with the idea that you're not figuring it out yet? And that's okay too. So, I don't know. I'm really tired too. And this is also a good lesson. Like, don't fucking podcast at this time at night. And you know what? I can say that to you. Like, I should have done this earlier. Not should have because I have to, because it would have made more sense for me. And so you learn. Like, you learn. You're like, okay, that could be done earlier to be better. Great. You could do this to make this better. Great. So instead of beating yourself up for falling off track, or, me being like, fuck, Ricki, like, everything's going downhill, the podcast is going downhill, I just say to myself, like, no, it's not. There's no hill. There's no fucking hill to go down. It's only lessons. Only. The only time it's a downhill is when you don't stop yourself from falling. But I always do. And you need to do that too. I'm here for you. And I would hate for you to get in your own way of that. It's hard to watch a million people reach out to me saying how much they're struggling. They'll do just about anything to walk away. But then you offer them a solution and they pause. What is anything to you? I know money is a thing. I get it. I totally get it. I don't understand everyone's situation, but I get it. But you'll spend money on marijuana without blinking your eyes. And DoorDash and Netflix and what other fucking things you buy. And that's okay too. That's okay. That is okay. Because not everybody is ready for everything. And that is okay too. And I make no judgment. I really don't. Because I am here for you. And I love that you love my podcast. And I love that you love my videos. But come on, like, the real transformation is longer. It has to be. It's deeper. So I just want you to think about that. If you're someone that's at the start of your journey, or you're waiting till you're ready, or you love my podcast and that's really what's helping you through, I want to know how deep you want to, like, how deep do you want your transformation to be? Because it's not just a weed transformation. This is a life transformation, and there's so much more to it. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, Like, there's only so deep that you can go on a podcast. My episodes are short. But I hope to create things that allow you to reconnect with yourself. And I promise I'm going to get the intro back on the thing. I'm going to get the video stuff going again. That's my goal this week, okay? I know. The human in me, right? But it is what it is. I love you guys, and the program starts September 6th. And this will be the last time that it's run like this. It's going to keep growing and increasing, and it's going to take on a new form eventually. And I don't want you to wait every single month, because every single month, I'm not going to be doing this every single month because it will have to change, right? But the longer you wait, the longer you stay where you're at. So I'm working on something that's going to allow a lot more people to be a part of for where they're at currently. But if you're ready to fucking go and like you want to change your life, I got you. The program will do that for you. DM me, reach out to me. Was this like the craziest episode? Like, should I not even put it out there? No, I'm going to put it out there. All right. Love you guys. See you next week.